Good morning once again. Welcome. It's Classic Radio 105.5, 105.9 on the FM dial. Those of you viewing via GBN TV, also good morning to you. Welcome to the Mid Morning Buzz. Let me say good morning to Mr. Chris DeRiggs. Good morning to you, sir. How you doing?
Good morning, my brother. How are thou?
How's thou? I'm not sure.
Oh, you want to know thou is? Thou is you? Yeah, I good.
All right. I always wonder when people say how are thou. So who's thou? So you're referring to me as thou. I actually asked somebody that that's my name.
Colin, yeah. Yeah, man.
Tell me, Spice, of course, Laugh Festival, as it's called.
Yes, Spice Laugh, Comedy Bash.
Coming up.
Weekend
Once
after
you mention
next weekend.
comedy in it, we know what we're talking about.
Yes. And we are responding to the demand put out by our patrons for this kind of entertainment at this time. It's not the first time we're doing a comedy show of this nature, but we have not done one for quite a while now, and it's at least 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
So nobody didn't laugh for 5 years?
Well, they laugh. People always laughing, you know. So they never laugh at things that ain't good to laugh at, but yeah.
Yeah, all right.
We like to laugh in Grenada.
The reason for putting on a show of this nature right now, of course, you didn't mention 5 years, you haven't done it. Probably there was a void for whatever reason. Tell us.
Well, okay, so Heritage Theatre Company produces different theatre products.
Yes.
We do serious full-length plays. People will recall that in the year 2023, we did Julian Fedor.
Yes.
Which was a blockbuster. We did The Fire to Dance, another very successful production. But these were historical dramas, and they were serious but entertaining.
Yes.
And it had some these productions had comedic content, but they were not comedic theatre. Over the years, we have developed a product according to a kind of formula that is curated or concocted to make people laugh. And so we have this comedic theatre. We say it's a laugh a minute, guaranteed to knock people off their seats. And we do it's satire, it's parody, it's lampooning publicly known figures, taking situations that might be regarded as serious and giving them an alternative comedic twist, and making people think in spite of all that, you know. And we try to make it tasteful. We avoid obscenities. We don't produce adult type entertainment. We think that people can come with their entire families and enjoy it.
Right, great.
So that's the kind of product that we're doing. Those of our patrons who have followed us over the years will recall productions like Comedy Club, Brangomania, When the Carnival Over, On the Campaign Trail, Hurricane Ivan Rufus. We did a production immediately after the hurricane.
I love that production, man. I came up to that particular production. It was a thrill.
Yeah. You know, at that, and we did that just about maybe 6 weeks after the hurricane.
Yes.
It was a time when Grenada was in a very depressed state. The most popular social event was funerals, you know.
Yeah.
People might forget. And one day I walking up one of them street in town, Scott Street, I think, and a lady upstairs in our upstairs house looked down at Chris, we want something to laugh. The place too grim. And so, even at a time when Grenada was partially under blackout, we were able to stage a production at the Trade Center. Did 8 shows, and they were practically all sold out. And but it was therapeutic theatre. You see, we wanted people to be able to look back at the trauma they experience.
Yes.
And to look at it in a manner that they can sort of exorcise the trauma from the system and feel better and more confident. We even did something called playback theatre, apart from the production Hurricane Ivan Rufus, which we took around. We took it to Barbados, we took it to St. Vincent, we took it to New York, we took it to Toronto, we took it to Montreal, you know. But apart from that kind of production, we did a more street theater type production, which was called playback theater. We went into the villages and into the junctions, and we engaged with the community. They told us their stories. We played it back for them.
Yes.
In a manner that
in the old way of doing it now.
Yeah, and in a manner that gave them hope. Good. You see, and it was a great experience. So comedy is therapeutic. So we responded to popular demand, and we feel that it's a time to laugh.
All right.
And so this is why we're doing this production.
Putting together a cast for this particular one that coming up, of course. Tell us, how was it? Was it that difficult? Was it difficult to put together a cast?
No, not at all. It's just too easy. You see, when you have men like Robert White,
yes.
who is known, all over Grenada as a comedian. He's a serious fellow, but he's a comedian. And Dillian Walters, who has not been on stage with us for a couple of years. So we're very happy to have him back. Great. Wayne established a reputation as being a tremendous acting talent, and then he suffered, a medical condition that even threatened his life. And now he's back in the theater and on stage for the first time and doing monologue. That it's a great thing to have people like that. But outside of that, you have a number of very talented people in the cast. People we have
a couple of new people also.
But
maybe first time folks may even have the option of seeing these people.
Well, we I can tell you, I have a nephew there. His name is Adrian. Yeah. Right, Adrian Harford. He is funny. Right. But there are people well established, not necessarily members of our theatre company, like J. McDonald, Karim Alexis.
Yes,
Karim could run a show by himself. He's that talented. And the ladies in our theatre company, they have a mischievous sense of humor, and they've been working hard. So I think in terms of acting talent, it's there.
Yes.
And we could do, with the kind of acting talent we have, we could do a lot of show like that.
All right. Tell me, what can people expect for the viewers and listeners who are listening and viewing us right now at the Mid-Morning Buzz? If you to encourage them to want to come out, what can they expect when they come out to an event of this nature?
Well, we give you a meal that has something for everybody.
Yes.
So the children like very visual comedy. They like to see funny movements on stage. Like Charlie Chaplin, like Jerry Lewis, like Mr. Bean. Yeah. People who naturally look funny, even without speaking. Children like that kind of visual comedy. So we have a good amount of visual comedy there. But there are those whose intellect, they like the intellect to be tickled. All right. So and these are the people who listen to language. They listen to the way somebody speaks, the expression. They listen to double meanings, the double entendre. They look for puns. They look for exaggeration in the language and so on. So there are people, because of their preference in comedy, would like that.
Yes.
All right. And then there are people who just like all kind of comedy. So regardless of how you bring it. So what we're doing is a package that is varied and versatile. And regardless of what you like about comedy, you will find something there that you will find interesting. But let me just tell you this. You'll see characters on stage that you recognize.
Yes.
Right? Look out for J. McDonald and a character called Batai. Batai changes color. I ain't saying more on that. Right? Look out for Dillian Walters doing something called the homily, where he's actually taking issue with the mourners at a funeral, asking them to look at their lives. but in a certain way, right? That is guaranteed to crack you up. Look for Roberts dealing with the question of the names that people give children. I mean, sometimes you give a child a name and then you know, what do you expect? How you saddle a child with a name like that to go through life?
And
he must end up
to live with that particular.
Yeah. It's not fair. It's not easy. And then there are some things that you will know about, the call-in programs.
Yeah, I've been hearing snippets of that conversation from time to time. I was always wondering what they be talking about. I actually see it being brought out. That's one of the things that's attracted me to want to come out to this event. I want to hear how you guys are going to be portraying that.
Yeah, well,
I am getting that life aspect of it on a daily basis. You understand?
Yeah.
Now seeing it reproduced, and being the comedy part of it.
Well, those who listen to GBN, all right, those who listen to radio and talk radio and so on, they will hear the voices of the characters that they normally hear.
All right.
Okay, so it was hit home in a very special way.
All right. I always wondered, how do individuals like yourself and the other actors get into character? How do you get into character?
Well, it's part of, the training that actors go through in preparation for becoming actors. So you study characters, you try to become them, and you have to, in the most serious way, you have to die a certain deaths and become the character. And you cannot have inhibitions. We don't have room on stage for shy people that what people would think if
a production of that nature, you can't be shy.
They see me walk on stage with that dress, but it requires studying your characters and live in your characters. You have to try to get inside their head, the way they think, what kind of conflicts and contradictions they are facing on a daily basis, and try to be in the moment when you're on stage to become them. It's a process. A lot depends on the ability of the actor to concentrate. You have to be able to shed the baggage of whatever went through in a given day, and just make the transition and become the character. But I'm just putting it in a very simple way, but it's all about preparation to go on stage and to become a character.
All right, and it has to be kind of embedded in you as an individual also, if I'm right about saying that.
Some people are naturally, that way. They have that gift. Others find it harder to do. And some people are more given to comedy. It comes more natural to them. And others are more given to serious roles. And people must know their strengths.
So true.
Yeah,
so true.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, Heritage Theatre Company has been a hallmark company here in Grenada for the long. What keeps Heritage Theatre Company doing it and continue to do it over the years?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, people love what they do. They love theatre. They have a passion for theatre. That's a big part of it. And the second part is that they love being with each other.
Yeah.
We enjoy each other's company. We don't always agree, but we find a way to accommodate our differences as a group of people. And we've been together for over 3 decades. So we're no longer a theatre ensemble. We are family.
Yes.
Okay, so we know the names of each other's spouses and their children and even their grandchildren. And we know their friends. You see?
Yeah, their girlfriends.
And you see, well, their boyfriend too. So and we feel a sense of engagement and responsibility. Example in case, take for example, Saraya, Little Miss St. George, and now she Little Miss Grenada. Mm-hmm. Sarona Abraham is her mother. Yes. Sarona is a member of our theatre company.
Yes.
We took so much pride and satisfaction in seeing how Saraya, right, who we see as our own daughter too, how she acquitted herself in the competition with such dignity. A young person, wise and precocious, wise beyond her years, and such charm and natural ability. So we take pride in the achievements of our extended family. That's what keeps us together.
All right, man. So in Spice Laugh Comedy Bash,
one thing, sorry to cut you there.
No problem.
Right, you know what keeps us together again? Our patrons.
Yes.
With all the support of our patrons, and there's a market for what we do. If we were talking in the air and nobody was listening to us and coming to our shows, we'd have folded up long ago.
I would agree.
Right? So that, I mean,
say that ain't working.
Yeah. So that's a big part of it. Also would be the love that we get from our patrons, the energy, the positive energy from our patrons.
Now, if you have the option of encouraging folks to come out here in a comedic way this morning, how would you do that?
Well, I would say.
I'm putting you on the spot.
No. I good with that. Right? I believe that on the 22nd of June and on the 23rd of June, all right, our patrons, your evening will be well spent, sitting down at the Trade Center and enjoying Spice Laugh Comedy Bash. Okay? We guarantee to entertain you. We guarantee to maintain the high standard of comedic theater that we have done over the years, and this one, as I say, is specially curated to really knock people off their seats.
All right.
So we stand up behind the product, and we know it's going to be a great evening of entertainment. So patrons are going to be very, very satisfied with that. It's going to be a full meal.
All right. From the Trade Center, you move to St. Andrew, DeRiggs Cinema. What kind of feedback have you been getting, especially for folks in the St. Andrew area? Always sometimes they always get that feeling that they are left out for some reason or the other, and you decide to bring that particular event to their neck of the woods, if I could say it in that way.
Well, we have been under some pressure by patrons, theatre lovers outside of St. George's, to bring our productions to the different parishes. And in the case of the folks in St. Andrews, they have taken issue with us and say, you guys are always doing shows in the Trade Center. Do you feel that St. George's is Grenada? And our response has been sympathetic, generally. We have tried to tell patrons sometimes that if you do a production like Julian Fedor, with extensive sets, it is quite a financial challenge to take it to a small hall in St. Andrews. The Look Cinema seats about 300. Nonetheless, on this occasion, it is less of a financial challenge. We don't have to move with extensive sets and so on. And we try, we're trying to be more responsive. A lot of people don't know that we have done about 10 tours of Carriacou. Yeah. So outside of St. George's, the place we have performed the most is Carriacou. So the folks in Carriacou listening to me, I know they're going to call me and say, well, you put your foot in your mouth. Yeah. You have to come up Carriacou.
Why isn't this production in Carriacou now?
So, but we have been, we were in Carriacou not too long ago with a Maroon Festival. Yes. And we had a great time. So we are not averse to going outside of St. George's, and when circumstances allow, to take it even further. But on this occasion, we're very happy to say that we will be in the Look Cinema on the 30th, Sunday the 30th of June, and the interest is there, the support is there, and we're looking forward to entertaining the folks up there too.
All right, great. My final question: comedy in Grenada as a whole. What's your take on it?
I would say that in terms not just comedy but acting talent in Grenada is extremely good. Yeah. Stands up well in comparison with practically anywhere else in the Caribbean, and because we are naturally a comedic people. Grenadians like to laugh. I keep saying that, yes. And sometimes if we don't laugh, we're gonna cry. Okay, at some situations, and so there is a natural comedic flair element in our persona as Grenadians, and it is borne out by the kind of comedians that we produce. What we have not done is taking this talent to the level, a new level. We need to perform beyond the shores of Grenada. We need to take our comedic performances outside of Grenada, not in an occasional ad hoc way, but in a systematic way. This year, we took a decision to do Spice Laugh as a signature comedic entertainment event in Grenada's calendar of entertainment.
All right.
Annually in the month of June. So this we'll have therefore a package that we can take out of Grenada, and we can feel proud, right? So that we can do stuff that stands up anywhere, entertain even the most depressive personalities and so on. And so we have our own John Agitations. We have Paul Keith Douglas, who doesn't like to be called a comedian, but he's a funny guy, all right? And we have comedic talent here that has to be given visibility outside of Grenada. But in terms of the natural ability, I think we have what can be compared to anything else.
All right. Chris, I want to thank you once again for being on the show this morning. The pleasure as always to have you. Of course, always interesting conversation. We encourage everyone in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique. I know the trade center may not be able to accommodate, but
we anticipate very good crowds on both nights.
If everybody knew,
so people better come early, right?
I hope so. Right. In fact, once again, anything in closing before we take a wrap?
Well, I want to say a special thank you to the Corporate Grenada that has come out in support of us again. Right. Without that, we ain't going nowhere. And a special thank you to those ticket outlets, the businesses that have agreed to sell our tickets. For the folks in St. Andrews, please note that there is an outlet that we didn't mention in our ads. It's St. Andrews Pharmacy.
Okay.
So you can, apart from the Gittins network of establishments, you can look to St. Andrews Pharmacy for tickets. Okay. And so I think, and GBN. Yeah, GBN has been a big partner in this endeavor. Has given us the visibility that we need to get the message out. So a special thank you to GBN. We are grateful. We don't take these things for granted. We are grateful. Thank you very, very much.
All right. It's a pleasure to have you as always. Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz. Don't forget, going out to Spice Laugh. Yes, Comedy Bash. See all you folks there. That's what we say goodbye for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz. Goodbye, folks.